to South Africa, and also they left the APC for the PDP. Don't forget, he was Deputy Governor to Babangida Aliyu, the immediate past governor of Niger State. And we heard stories about his plan to succeed him, but that didn't work out. And then he joined the APC, and now he wants to lead the APC back to the PDP. One would wonder how the PDP would cope with all of these guys coming back. You know, what would happen to the guys that have been in the party and have labored for the party? I mean, isn't somebody seeing a looming crisis in the PDP? Isn't somebody seeing, you know, some stormy sides, you know, in the PDP as we build up to the 2019 elections? Well, all of this and more we'll talk about after this timeout. As I'll be joined by in-house analyst. Don't go anywhere, still the conversation here on People's Television. Welcome back. Yes, I'm joined by Adeshola Aremu, in-house analyst, who we're going to be looking at all of the issues from the Benue State Assembly to all of the, you know, impeachment notices that we're seeing and how this is affecting the policy. Welcome to the conversation, Shola.
Hi, Daniel. How are you today?
Fine. Now, look at the stories that you know have been going out since yesterday, this morning. Yes, 8 members of the Benue State House of Assembly served the governor an impeachment notice.
Well, I wouldn't want to. It depends on where the source you're reading from, and it depends on the source you actually want to quote. The Benue story is one that one needs to, like, I think you need to. You just have to be careful about it, because we've had stories where where somebody, some part of the media claimed 6 members, another part of the media claimed 8 members, and we also have people who had actually claimed 12. So on this, well, I think it's a very sensitive. We don't know who is telling the truth now.
Okay, well, let's leave the numbers now. Let's talk about the fact that the reports at the police are beginning to take sides in this matter, well, which is not good for democracy.
That is very, very worrisome, because the police are supposed to be apolitical. They're supposed to be in the middle. They're supposed to maintain peace and order. But this is not the first time, I can tell you. The police will surely come out and tell you, oh, this is the reason why we're doing this, because they said they actually wanted to prevent the break of law and order. But from the look of things, in my own opinion, though, I will tell you, it's not a very tasteful report coming from that side. The police should have done better.
But the truth is, this is not the first time we are hearing of a smaller number of an assembly trying to oust a governor. It happened to Fayose at the time.
Well, if you want to talk about the history of, like, it is only in Nigeria where you have 19 governors, more than about 26 or 27 other governors. It's only in Nigeria where you have 6 legislators impeaching in a house of 30 or in a house of 27. But saying all this, it calls for us to, like, now check ourselves and see, are we really getting it right in this country? The power of incumbency, it's something I always hate to talk about. There shouldn't be any power. The only power you have as an incumbent government should be the power of development, when people will see. Because if I had ruled maybe years before now, maybe people would have forgotten. But if you're still ruling, what I feel should be the power of incumbency is, oh, people can still feel the impact of my government. So they wouldn't, or they shouldn't, rather, forget in a hurry. So I should have that edge over whoever is coming, who might have done in the past, or who might not, even have not been tried before. But the way we take things in this country, let's give it to the presidency, because the special advisor to the president came out this morning and, like, the Mr. President is in far Togo, and how can he, although there's no way you can influence anything, but there's been a disclaimer, so to say, from the presidency, that the presidency or the president has got no hand in this. So we should, for now, believe that fact. But who is the police taking orders from?
There were also speculations that Senator George Akume came into the state with police from Abuja. Those were accusations that were said by the other part of the house that seemed not to be on his side. Anyway, moving up now, we have heard lots of condemnation as regards this particular Benue story. The former Senate president has come out to speak and say it is null and void. I mean, you can't say this. Who is seen as a father in the state?
No, you can't say Mark is seen as a father in the state, because where was Mark when Akume, what's the relationship between them, and what has David Mark actually done for Benue that will give him that fatherly role or that fatherly figure? But it's kind of it is laughable, so to say, if the likes of David Mark will come out and say things like this, because history is still there. When David Mark was Senate president, things like this happened, like not one, not two, not three, and there was never a time, probably because it was the ruling party then.
No, but David Mark has been commended for his maturity as Senate president in his time, holding down the house.
No, we're not. So has Saraki. But what I'm saying is, during your time, when David Mark was the Senate president, PDP was in power. We have series of cases like this, like so many of them, cases upon cases. But there was never a time he frowned against it, possibly because the party was in power.
Okay. Also, the two principal officers of the National Assembly, talking about Saraki and Dogara, has called on Mr. President to call the police to order, owing to the fact that, yes, the police is controlled from Abuja. There is no state police. So if the police take side, it means they have authority or order from a higher power, from the center.
Well, we are yet to see a situation where the presidency will be speaking one voice, and the police will be saying another thing. We saw that happen when the Senate President House was blocked from coming out from his house. The police came out and said, no, we didn't send anybody. But like you rightly mentioned, where do the others come from? And Well, talking about Bukola Saraki and the Dogara, I think the relationship between these two individuals in the recent time, it's been so rosy.
So rosy.
So rosy. Like, go and check. I checked a couple of tweets about the Senate president, and for the last 3-4 weeks now, he hasn't been speaking as an individual. It's been like we releasing a joint statement, or me, Saraki, alongside Dogara. They've been seen everywhere together. So I think
Their bromance is enhancing.
I think there's something more to it.
Anyway, let's get closer to their bromance now.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of minutes ago, say 53 minutes ago approximately,
Okay.
we saw a breaking news tweet from the Twitter handle, the official Twitter handle of the Senate President, that is Bukola Saraki, announcing his resignation from the APC, and he didn't mention in that tweet where he will be joining.
Well, I can tell you it is getting interesting in Nigerian politics. This is Bukola Saraki. But I don't think it should be breaking to anybody, because
Actually,
the words are already, it's been on the wall.
the body language, it was expected.
So, like, to me, when it's breaking news, but it's still not a breaking news, because this is, as in people have long awaited this to come.
Even now that he didn't mention a particular political party, there have been speculations. Should we also say that when he finally announces a political party, we should not be surprised as well?
Well, where will Saraki go to? We can only speculate, but the man, I can tell you, is a strategist, is a political strategist. He's very good at that. This is a man who outplayed his own father in his own domain.
Many have said so.
The man who actually brought him into politics.
He sent his father to
Like,
political exile.
You get, and the man was like, no, I've not retired, but you retired me. Bukola Saraki, from political history, I will tell you, he is a very good, he is a very good player.
Okay.
So to say.
Well, men or sons loyal to him have also told the path. The governor of Kwara State has immediately turned in his own
What do you
resignation.
expect?
And we also hear speculations of the national spokesperson for the APC. That is a very sensitive position.
Well,
Didn't he see all of this coming before going to recontest? That was very sensitive.
I will still tell you something. Like, I have mentioned it to a couple of friends who are talking. As it is now, there is no sure person in either of the party. You really do not know who is coming next. It's a game plan. Why did the Senate president, why did he leave it this late? He allowed this, the foot soldiers are supposed to come after you, but he allowed them to go first. And now he's still hanging. Still hanging because he has actually not decided.
Yes.
I wouldn't
Or
want
he has
to
not
say
made
he has
it
not
public.
made it public yet. So let's keep watching. It's a drama, and it's unfolding.
More drama also as the Nigerian ambassador to South Africa, Alhaji Ibeto, resigned his position, and also he made it clear he's leaving the APC for the PDP.
Well,
Former Deputy Governor of Niger State.
Yes, many of these people, you know how politics is done in this country. You have to be from someone to someone. So, like, there's been this, the coming of the, is the NPDP that time. That's the coming of Bukola Saraki, the Dogaras, and all of them. When they came that time, definitely, you would have expected, ordinarily, them to have, to do a kind of lobby for some of their guys to get appointments in the federal government, which I think is what is playing out right now. So we still see more, because if a certain person had brought you into getting an appointment with this government, and that individual is leaving, I think
You have to leave as well. But prior to all of this, the national leadership of the APC dissolved the Kwara State APC Council and installed a caretaker prior to when they would hold state ward
which has actually
congresses.
got reactions from many angles. Even the so-called committees are saying, okay, they are not going to adhere to that. But all this thing playing out, Daniel, they are things that before Saraki will come out to announce, you saw the protest that came out, and people say, before he will even make the pronouncement, expel him. But I want to give that to the leadership of the All Progressive Congress, the APC, for not so going that way, because it would have been very disastrous. It would have been very immature of them. It would have been very ridiculous of them to have done that. The man is state. We have the freedom of association, so you could decide to leave the party. So expelling him, that would bring me back to what is happening in Benue. The truth is, it is very, very, very kind of distasteful, because fine, these guys are they were in the party, they decide to leave, allow them, let them be. This show of political strength is not going to change anything. They've gone. We still read that the Deputy Senate President is being grilled. All this thing at this time, I believe they are too much for us to swallow in the political sphere.
Really too much for us to swallow. Anyways, what do you see coming in the few weeks ahead? We've still not heard from speculations like the Speaker. We've still not heard from speculations from Iman Tambowa. There's still speculations that we've not heard of. What do you see coming?
Well, I can tell you, one thing you can expect is expect the unexpected. Both the expected and the unexpected. The truth is still that all these guys, there is a chain reaction. It brought them in. The same chain that brought them in is the same chain that's going to take them out. The most, do I want to say, surprising element that I have not seen as an individual, who I'm still expecting, is a certain senator from Kaduna State.
Very well.
Because this man has consistently, I don't want to say done antipathic thing, but he has consistently
spoken in ways that are suggestive.
That you will think he will be the first person to leave, but he's still there. So if you want
maybe
to
it's part of the game plan.
Exactly, because maybe I need an ear inside the APC. So now it leaves us to we don't trust ourselves anymore. You don't even know. Look at the Benue State governor. A week or a few days
after meeting with the national leadership.
Meeting with the national and confessing and even admitting that he made a mistake. I want people to get to see that. So is that a thing of honor?
As a leader.
As a leader. And people still go and sacrificing their time, sacrificing their energy and strength for this kind of individuals. I would have expected, oh, I'm here, you summoned me. No, there's no going back, because I knew you can't be with the likes of the River State governor, the Senate
Baraje,
in 2-3 days to time, and you're now summoned to the APC secretary, and you went there and you admitted, that is the key word, admitted you made a mistake, and
said you were given a red card, and that you're still a member of the APC.
Daniel,
it's speaking from both sides of the mouth now.
Yeah, it is really perfect. It's not as funny as we take it.
Very true, very true. Yes, like Shola said, it's pathetic. It shows the kind of crop of leaders that we have. Thank you very much, Adishola Remo, for joining me on the conversation. That's how much we can take here. So much drama, but don't forget to keep you up to date and keep you abreast with all that is happening or that would happen as they unfold. My name is Daniel Wamboso. The news at 8 is next.
The statistics for the incidence of autism around the world is a staggering 1 in every 68 new births. In a country whose population grows by 2.5% each year, we can estimate that about 70,000 children born in 2017 alone will be diagnosed to be on the autism spectrum by their 3rd birthdays in 2020. Adding to a similar number of cases diagnosed each year before that. There is no known cause or cure for autism, but by creating awareness and building advocacy, we can improve legislation, conditions, and opportunities for children and families on the autism spectrum. This animated drama series is one of such interventions that we believe can make a difference. Happy viewing.
Hello, my name is Chibi and I am 8 years old and I live in Abuja, Nigeria. A few years ago, I discovered that my older sister Chubu is on the autism spectrum. For a long while, we never really got along. She would sit by herself, throw tantrums when she didn't like something, refuse to join me to play, and even get away with her bad behavior without getting scolded or punished by daddy and mommy. I am not sure I like her the way a sister should until I started to ask questions about her. And daddy, mommy, and other adults started to explain more about autism to me. The biggest thing I learned that helped me understand autism and now get along and love my sister is that she sometimes behaves this way because of autism and not because she's naughty or unfriendly. Let me show you what I mean. Chubu, please stop jumping. Oh, Daddy, please can you tell Chubu to stop jumping?
Chubu, please stop jumping. Look at Daddy and calm down. Daddy said you should calm down.
Calm down.
You see, Chibi, to help your sister, you have to maintain eye contact with her when speaking. She is jumping because she is overstimulated from watching TV for so long. Let's sit together and read a book. Please switch off the TV. You know, you shouldn't watch TV for more than 2 hours at a stretch.
Okay, Daddy. I used to think that Dad and Mom just like to treat Chubu better than me. But after this encounter, I learned that autistic children like Chubu get overstimulated and are too sensitive to light, smells, sound, and flashing pictures like from the TV. So, rather than getting jealous, I need to watch out for things that can overstimulate her and protect her from such things. I am in primary 4 and I have to do lots of homework each night. But Chubu does a lot less work and it's a lot simpler work. I don't understand why my big sister is in primary 1 while I'm in primary 4. Auntie Tessie, why is Chubu in primary 1 while I'm in primary 4? Is it because I am smarter than her?
No, Chibi. Chubu is autistic, and like other autistic children, she learns at a different pace and volume from other children like you. Learning is about being able to pay attention and copy from adults. Because of autism, Chubu doesn't always pay attention and copy, and therefore learns at a slower pace than you. However, with the kind of special teaching she gets at school, she will continue learning and one day she will get to primary 4 too. Remember how Chubu couldn't even sit still in class a few years ago? Now she can write, spell, and even solve fractions.
That's true. This makes sense. This autism thing isn't that bad. It just requires understanding and the right technique. Chubu, stop crying! Stop crying! What do you want? What do you want? Why would you just answer the question and stop crying? Mommy, why does Chubu not answer? She just keeps crying.
Chibi, Chubu is on the autism spectrum, and children on the autism spectrum like her sometimes are not able to express themselves verbally like you can. Chubu is crying because there's something she doesn't like, but does not know how to express herself. Let's look around and see what it could be. Chubu, look at me. Do you want watermelon?
Yes, watermelon.
So why did you just say so? Let's go and get some watermelon together. And next time, just say watermelon instead of crying. So, I have learned a few things about Chubu and other children on the autism spectrum. I learned that children on the autism spectrum don't learn as quickly as other children, that they are very sensitive to the environment, and that they sometimes do not communicate as verbally as other people do, or find it easy to play with other children. I also learned about what a spectrum is. I now understand that being autistic must be hard for them too, and that with love and support from the family and the rest of the society, children on the autism spectrum like my sister Chubu can do very well in life.
Owerri Ezukala is a town in Orumba South local government area of Anambra State. The town is one of the most populous communities in the local government area. It is a boundary town bordered in the north by Olo town in Enugu State. In the southeast, Owerri Ezukala is bordered by Umuaku Isochi in Abia State and by Eziama town in Imo State. Down this valley of dense forest is a cave and waterfall reputed to be the biggest in the West African sub-region. Owerri Ezukala Waterfalls is a magnificent sight. The great waterfalls cascade from a height of about 60 meters all year round, with its heaviest flow during the rainy season and enough to generate electricity. The cave's waterfalls have their sources from a confluence of Edegere and Ozuku streams, just as it splashes down naturally. The waterfall forms a pool at the base, which is a tourist attraction. The water moves further to join a nearby supernatural lake, Obori, from which its final destination could be traced to Omambala River. This is Owerri Ezukala Cave. The Owerri Ezukala cave belongs to the limestone caverns family, formed by solution process, beautiful limestone of great sizes and shapes, among other solid minerals that is found within the cave environment. This cave measures not less than 10 kilometers in length, extending to Ishiama, Nkuli, and Olo axis of Enugu State and Amuda Isuochi area of Abia State.
The road leads to Enugu State.
Yes.
From this place.
Yeah.
Can we see the road? Yeah, you can see the road. The road is well made.
The Orezukala Cave and Waterfalls is one of Anambra's unsung wonders of nature.
The poor living condition of internally displaced persons, IDP camp of New Kuchingoro, a settlement in the Federal Capital Territory, really leaves a lot to be desired. IDP camps are not prisons, neither are there detention camps. Yet, the condition internally displaced persons are facing are quite similar to prisons, if not worse. The increasing pace of the Boko Haram insurgency led to the displacement of millions of people, and many have taken shelter in different IDP camps scattered around the country. One of them is the New Kuchingoro IDP camp in Abuja. Many of these people have lost their entire families. Some do not even know if their fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters are dead or still alive somewhere. So they just try to get through each day. One of the major challenges in the IDP camp is the struggle to survive, especially the ability to afford a minimum of 2 square meals per day and take care of some pressing personal needs, including care for family. Many have picked up different petty trade or handwork in order to survive and keep life going. One of such persons is Ladi Matthias, a mother of 8 children who lost her husband to the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast. Ladi Matthias, who came all the way from Borno State as a result of the crisis in the northeast, in a bid to survive, decided to go into a trade here in the New Kuchingoro IDP camp. She explained how much she says her bean cake, popularly known as akara or kose. So like how much you sell every day?
500, 5,000, 6,000.
Okay, but you get people come to buy akara?
Yes, children for school.
Okay, children that are going to school.
Yes.
Okay, they come here to buy. So
50 naira, 100 naira, 20 naira for.
Okay, so how do you get your beans and how do you get the grinding machine?
Beans for Gosa market.
Akara tastes nice. Among cases reported from the IDP camps, report of increased death rate, prostitution, rape, sexually transmitted disease, the chairman of the New Kuchingoro IDP camp, Philemon Emmanuel, cleared the air.
In our area, it is only here that we see the ladies can just leave their parents' house and come out to say, come and get in their money or what. In our area, we are not doing all these kind of things. If you see a lady once, maybe if you see a lady travel, maybe she's going to school. If not, you will not see this kind of thing.
He also talked on how the IDP community are managing to survive without the help of the government.
Trying our best, although.
Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. It's true because anything, if you see like this now, it is not all the IDPs because majority of our IDPs now, we went to farm. for farming, because I tell them that we are not going to just stay in the camp and wait for people to come and give us food or something. We have to go to look for our own, do it on our own. So some people came here, they will just take like 10 family, 20 family, support them with the small money that they are going to rent a land so that they will start farming. Majority of our people, we are about 5,000 in this camp before. So majority of our people now, they went to farm in Nasarawa. Some of them, once if they get something, nobody will come back to camp again. So majority of our people now, especially in this rainy season, they are in the farm now in Nasarawa.
However, the mass presence of several nursing mothers, kids all around, makes one reflect on the funny notion that in a community where basic social amenities and activities are absent, making babies becomes order of the day, resulting to several births here and there. And in this case, several children gave birth to children. The question of education is not one to be pushed aside, as many of these kids are encouraged and supported to be in school by some kind organizations and good Nigerians. These kids once in a while get to have musical fun from visitors who come to cheer them up, especially during the festive periods. As the saying goes, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. The internally displaced persons anchor their hope on this belief. After a long night comes the dawn of a new day.
Most of the arts productions here are masterpieces by the staff members of Fine and Applied Arts Department, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. The exhibition was part of the activities that were meant to herald the school convocation ceremony. Dr. Tochukwu explains how painstakingly she worked on these installations that took several months to realize.
The title of the works, they are actually installation arts. So two of them, you call them one work. The title of the work is Identity. Whom do you think you are? I tried to express myself as a female artist. That's why I use the female dummies to express myself, using unusual materials to create something that will stand for installation arts and in fashion. Here I used artificial hair or synthetic hair. After the weaving, I tried to assemble one after the other, and all together they've formed a unit. In the other one, I used pieces of fabrics, tied them with pebbles inside, and also form the installation, making them a unit.
They say it's nothing new, you will find someone soon. Get up, get dressed, you're going out, you're gonna get him off of your mind. I don't think they tell the truth, I won't forget you, but maybe time and everyday life will suppress your memory. But I am reminded every time I hear our favorite song of your beautiful words and all your selling points. But I don't wanna go through life feeling like I left my heart in Pennsylvania. And when you hear this song, you'll know it's you I'm singing about. Don't freak out, keep your cool, it just takes me a little longer to get over all those beautiful words and all your selling points. But your nonchalance tells me to kick rocks. I'm confused cause love's become a metaphor for everything but what it should stand for. I'm reminded every time I hear our favorite song of your beautiful words and all those selling points. But I don't wanna go through life feeling like I left my heart in Pennsylvania. When I fly around the world, I'm always sure to make a stop in that airport where you work. Should I give you a call? And let you know that I'm reminded every time I hear our favorite song of your beautiful words and all your selling points. I don't wanna go through life feeling like I left my heart in Pennsylvania. I'm reminded every time I hear our favorite song of your beautiful words and all your selling points. And if I'm being honest, I'd say my heart's in Pennsylvania.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria
validate the claims by the INEC chairman.
before.
It is My name is Femi Anikula Kokuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you, don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility.
Good afternoon and welcome to PTV Today. I'm Daniel Waboso. The All Progressives Congress has named Yekini Nabena as acting party spokesman. Nabena was until now APC's deputy spokesman. The party posted this development on its official Twitter page on Thursday morning. Nabena's elevation into acting capacity came a day after Bolaji Abdullahi resigned as party spokesman. Senate President Bukola Saraki has hailed the Court of Appeal for upholding the powers of the National Assembly to make laws, including the bill amending election sequence. This was after the court dismissed an earlier verdict of the Federal High Court, which stopped the legislature from overriding the president's assent on the bill. Saraki said in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Yusuf Olaniyonu, that the judgment has further reinforced the belief that the judiciary remains the hope of the country in strengthening democracy as well as resolving conflicts between various arms and levels of government. He noted that the judgment showed that the National Assembly was right when it passed the bill rearranging the sequence of election, but noted that the legislature reversed its decision on the issue after President Muhammadu Buhari refused to assent to the bill. The Senate President explained that the U-turn was in the interest of peace and to forestall any legal obstacle on the way of the 2019 general election. Saki noted that he has always believed in the need to test the nation's laws in court by seeking judicial interpretation on contentious issues. And now the House of Representatives has mandated the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to reinstate the board of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution PLC within 48 hours. The decision was based on a court order presented by the sacked board members asking all parties to maintain status quo. Emmanuel Hijene reports. We'll bring you that story in a subsequent bulletin. Now, Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has renounced his membership of the All Progressives Congress. He has opted to return to the People's Democratic Party, where he was until 2014. Governor Otom made the declaration at the government house in Makurdi during a meeting with local government chairmen in the state. 14 of the 23 local council chairmen also pledged to follow him to the PDP. Our correspondent Akume Tav tells us more in this report. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party now and some governors on Wednesday showed up in Makurdi on a solidarity visit to Benue State Governor Samuel Otom, who just returned to the party fold. The PDP chieftains are all convinced that Otom's popularity would increase with what they saw what they say is his persecution by federal government. More details in our subsequent bulletin. Still in Benue State, Makurdi High Court, presided over by Justice Samson Itodo, has dismissed the suit filed by 10 local government chairmen against Governor Samuel Otom and the State House of Assembly. The council chairman had approached the court asking it to restrain the governor from removing them from office before the end of their tenure. The judge based his ruling on the preliminary objection raised by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice through the Director of Civil Rights Litigation, Simon Egede, who insists that there were no facts to support their claims. He thereafter urged the court to dismiss the action as it is incompetent for non-disclosure of course of action against the governor. In his ruling, Justice Itodo said it was not enough for the council chairman, led by Tedo Nyo and Dennis Akura, to invite the court to interpret a piece of legislation without providing any basis for such invitation. He accordingly upheld the preliminary objection and dismissed the suit. Reacting, Attorney General Samuel Gusa described the judgment as sound and maintained that the governor has no intentions to dissolve the cabinet. Moving forward now, the federal government says it has nothing to lose with the exit of Senate President Bukola Saraki from the ruling All Progressives Congress. This, according to Information Minister Lai Mohammed, is because Saraki had all along been behaving like a member of the opposition, even while still a member of the APC. Mohammed said this at the end of the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council.
And I'm sure the question on people's lips is exactly how is it going to affect the government, and how is it going to affect the party, and how is it going to affect the state. I will talk, I'll start with the government and the party. And the position, frankly, is that if Senator Dr. Bukola Saraki, if he were not a member of the APC, I don't think the party and the government could have suffered more than they have already with regards to the delay in passing the budget year after year, delays in approving key appointments that could have made the government, more efficient. In other words, what we're saying is that the Senate President had behaved all along as if he were a member of the opposition, deliberately slowing down the progress of the APC-led federal government. It is neither a surprise nor a blow to us that he has defected. Perhaps the only surprise is that when he eventually defected, it was more like a mere whimper. I mean, if we didn't gain anything by having a member as a Senate President, we stand to lose nothing by losing him as a member of our party.
The PDP members of the House of Representatives are passing the night at the National Assembly to stop what they say is an attempt to impeach Senate President Bukola Saraki. The opposition lawmaker claimed that the move was orchestrated by APC senators following Saraki's defection from the party. Although they are not members of the upper chambers, the PDP caucus of the House of Representatives say they have a responsibility to defend what they say is a planned assault on the National Assembly.
We were busy doing our committee work, our committee business, when information was brought to us that the Senate chambers was being forcefully invaded by a couple of senators led by Senator Ali Ndume, Senator Adamu Abdullahi, and Senator Omo Agege. And the aim of their invasion of the Senate, while senators are have gone on recess, they wanted to invade the Senate chambers to come and sit illegally and impeach the Senate President illegally when everybody is out on recess. We also have it on good authority that they are planning to come back this night and tomorrow morning, aided by security forces, our own security forces that is meant to, their job is meant to protect Nigerians, protect lives and property of Nigerians. They are the ones leading these dissident senators to come and looking for the right word to use, because they want to truncate democracy. We might think they want to take over the Senate. That's not what they want to do. They want to truncate democracy. This democracy of ours, they want to truncate it. But we, the PDP caucus, minorities caucus, we have decided that we're going to stay here. We'll keep vigil and wait and see what is going to happen tonight and tomorrow night. We're calling on all Nigerians to stay awake with us, because this is not a rape on the National Assembly. It's a rape on democracy, which concerns you and I, all of us. And if we allow this to happen, then we might as well go back to when we had a military junta, and we should all forget about democracy.
Now, since the news of defection of Senate President Bukola Saraki broke, Nigerians have all been shades have been speaking of the implication from any it would take the political atmosphere or make it more interesting. Daniel Azuama, who visited the newsstand, also ran into heated argument on the matter. This report is presented from our studios.
Many of those that are even defected, how many of them have value in their state? Wait now.
This was a scene at one of Abuja's newsstands. Bukola Saraki's defection is the issue that has triggered an argument. When the back and forth subsided, it was clear that many are divided on the import of the Senate President's return to the PDP.
In the Israel thing, so they are defecting from one party, jumping from one party to the other because of their personal interest. They don't have the interest of the masses at heart. These are a set of people who have been ruining us over the years. All of us have been crying. So what have they done so good that will warrant people celebrating their return to PDP, which they have dumped over 4 years? So what are we talking about here? So people don't believe to know, they don't seem to know where their problem lies. Do you understand? The issue here is we must have a government that will restructure this country, that will put this country in the right path and perspective.
You understand? Because a situation whereby some people are using to certain ideology of investing, paddling and so sort of things. You understand? If they don't feel the same where they are, if the house did not contain them, they will leave it. It's like you leave Ghana to Nigeria and you discover that the problem you are facing in Nigeria is more than what is happening in Ghana. You will go back to where you were coming from. You understand? These people we are talking about, they are PDP in APC. They call them G7 those days. And they match with APC to us to come to the government. Some of them are even thinking within themselves they are very powerful. I want to tell you today is false. Look at Muazu Babangida Aliyu, the Taliban of former governor of Niger State. He was the former governor of PDP Forum. Where is he today? He even lost his senatorial election. You understand? People like Saraki, they ride on Buhari, but they felt that they are somebody important. Let me tell you something. At the earlier of this government, you discovered that Bukola Saraki betrayed his party. By what? By conniving with opposition to come in government, making what has never happened in the history of Nigeria, the opposition becoming the Senate President. That is a fighter position. You trade it for service and greatness interest, not minding. And then look at it. Look at it now. What they have been doing in legislations is for them to make a laws. Adibi, they make a law that will make a life to be more comfortable for us, for the citizen. The executive arm of government will not have a choice that obeyed source law.
Everybody know Saraki is a PDP from day one. You understand? And in politics, everybody will take, because what you really believe is that if you come back, you want to be a Senate President again, and which cannot be. Even this present Senate President that is doing, assuming south or southeast, they have Senate from APC. One will march as Senate president because we have 3 regions in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. You get what I'm saying? Now, I do negotiation with APC that if they come back, are they going to give him Senate president? Which answer is no. Do you understand? And it discussed with the PDP, where I can see the soft landing. And I believe that was the reason why he moved to PDP. Because he's in the APC. And likewise, whoever that come through APC as a senator before Doni Buhari, the 2015 election, most of them will not come back. It's a welcome development. You know, Nigeria politics, little by little, will get it right. To me, Nigeria, we are just celebrating the capitalists, the achievers. You understand me? We are not celebrating the ideology. Any person that come to this country telling Nigeria where to go, the way forward, become the enemy of Nigeria. You understand me? When they are forming APC, we are all clapping that, oh, we are expecting a better change. We know where we are, and then today everybody can set the level that we are. Now it's just a failure in government. Everybody will say what is happening. If you are in APC today, even if you looted billions of dollars, but you are in APC, you are a good man. But when you are not there, they will begin all this propaganda, media, newspapers, corruption fighting. Police will now become partition and all these things. See, it's a very good so that Nigeria will repackage ourselves.
And for many, the political environment will be more interesting now that the elections are a few months away.
Has flown away from APC. The issue now is, what is APC doing? What is APC contributing? Which help is APC giving to we Nigerians at the moment? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Government has failed. Government in Nigeria has failed woefully in so many areas. In the aspect of we youth, we Nigerian youths, government has really failed us. That is the
master planner. It's a game planner. He came in as Senate President without the authority of the party, the APC, interested in him to be the Senate President. But he used his abracadabra, sort of, to come in as Senate President. And since then, this government has never seen the light of the day, because it's like it's one leg in PDP, another leg in the APC since he came in. That's what I've been witnessing. That is why this government is not moving forward.
One of the respondents also shared a view that seemed different from the others.
President, let him take the decision in his hand. He's a man of the world, he's a former governor, he was elected to president, and now he's a current senator. So he can decide on his own. Let him go, wish him well. Wish him well, but let me tell you something. Go back to Guse, where I come from. Tell Joshua join the terrain. But my people started cursing him that we are not expecting to go and join the looter. We are sent to go and do what? To go and represent the people well. 75% of them refuse to do anything in their constituencies. See, everybody started blaming government, going everybody up and down. Let's just start from local government, chairman and councillor and house of assembly, and senator and house of rep, and governor too. What are they doing in their constituency? Everybody started Buhari every second. I don't know as a constituency project. They collect their money all the time, every time. What are they doing?
For many, Nigerian politics will become more interesting with the high-profile movement between the two main political parties.
Detained Shiite leader is to know the fate of his bail application on October 4th. This was after his counsel, Maxwell Kion, moved for bail at the Kaduna High Court. Kion said they that they came prepared for their brief, hoping that Zakzaky and his wife Zinat would be granted freedom. In previous court sessions, journalists were prevented from gaining access to the High Court premises where the case was heard. Zakzaky, his wife, and 2 others are being tried for matters related to murder. They have been in detention since December 2015. About 150,000 members of the All Progressives Grand Alliance are set to defect to the United Progressive Party (UPP) in Imo State ahead of 2019 general elections. The APGA faithful in the states are set to be headed to the UPP to give further boost to the governorship aspiration of a leading governorship aspirant in the state, Tony Nwulu. Tony Nwulu, a member of the House of Representatives, widely known for initiating the Not Too Young to Run bill, which was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari, recently defected from the People's Democratic Party to the UPP. His governorship ambition has reportedly raised the tempo of the governorship contest by attracting massive support and endorsement from thousands of youths in the state. The defection has been planned for a date yet to be scheduled in Owerri, the Imo State capital, and has been described as the mother of all political rallies that will take place in recent times. Most political analysts are of the opinion that the defection would certainly alter the political equation in the state and energize the UPP to become the much anticipated third force in Imo politics. In addition, 5 political parties in the state are said to be ready to have talks and their willingness to endorse Nwulu's governorship ambition. Though the names of the political parties are yet to be unveiled, there are clear indications that the political parties will further boost Nwulu's governorship bid. With the split in Imo State chapter of the APC, some notable members of one of the faction have already opened talks with top UPP chieftain and expressed willingness to support Nwulu's Guber aspiration. As we told you earlier, that the APC National Working Committee has appointed Yekini Nabena as the acting provincial secretary of the APC. The party made this known via its official Twitter handle on Thursday. Nabena's elevation is coming a day after the resignation of Bolaji Abdullahi. Senate President Bukola Saraki has also hailed the Court of Appeal for upholding the powers of the National Assembly to make laws, including the bill amending election sequence. This was after the court dismissed an earlier verdict of the Federal High Court, which stopped the legislature from overriding the president's assent on the bill. Saraki said in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Yusuf Olaniyonu, that the judgment has further reinforced the belief that the judiciary remains the hope of the country in strengthening democracy as well as resolving conflicts between various arms and levels of government. He noted that the judgment showed that the National Assembly was right when it passed the bill rearranging the sequence of elections, but noted that the legislature reversed its decision on the issue after President Muhammadu Buhari refused assent to the bill. The Senate President explained that the U-turn was in the interest of peace and to forestall any legal obstacle on the way of the 2019 elections. Saraki noted that he has always believed in the need to test the nation's laws in court by seeking judicial interpretation of contentious matters. Now to Sokoto State, where Sokoto Governor Aminu Tambuwal has announced his return to the People's Democratic Party. Tambuwal made the announcement in a tweet where he was quoted saying that he consulted widely before announcing his defection from the ruling party, which he joined in 2014. He later issued a statement that was very critical of President Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressives Congress. Tambuwal maintained that there was nothing to show for 3 years of Buhari's administration. The Sokoto State Governor, who until 2015 was Speaker of the House of Reps, is believed to be interested in contesting for the presidency on the platform of the PDP. In a similar vein now, 18 out of the 30 members of the Sokoto State House of Assembly have also defected to the PDP. Speaker Salihu Maidaji, who was among the defecting members, made the announcement known at the Assembly plenary on Wednesday. And reacting to the move, the remaining 12 members of the APC addressed a press briefing after the plenary and wished the defectors well in their new party. Sani Yakubu, who spoke on their behalf, said the 12 members would remain committed and loyal to the APC-led government under President Muhammadu Buhari. The defection of the 18 lawmakers came few hours after Governor Aminu Tambuwal returned to the PDP. A Makurdi High Court has restrained some members of the Benue State House of Assembly from proceeding with the impeachment process that was initiated against Governor Samuel Ortom. Justice Teresa Igoche also restrained them from sitting and upheld the suspension pending the determination of the motion on notice. Tieva Kume tells us more in this report presented from our studios. In a similar vein, Benue State Governor has accused his former benefactor, Senator George Akume, of plotting to destabilize the state. He specifically said the former governor was mobilizing a herd of cattle with machineries to cause mayhem. Governor Ortom disclosed this in an interactive session with journalists at the Government House in Makurdi. He also insisted that his investigations by the anti-graft agency EFCC was politically motivated.
Well, you know, this is political times. Even me, when I join meetings, if we talk about what clue do I have that the senator is involved about this matter, whatever I discuss here, it is also known to everyone. So the senator has been holding meetings, he held meetings and attempted to buy the 22 members of the House of Assembly. Each person was given 4 million. So this is the point we are saying. But when time will tell, why I'm being investigated, that is what I said. How can you single me out and begin to investigate? If you're talking about investigating security vote, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not done any crime. The records are there. But the investigation should start from 1999, when Akume was here. And by now, after Akume leaving office, he should also be prosecuted. I am aware that he has an EFCC file, which was accused of gross misconduct and it was investigated. Why are they not prosecuting him? If you talk about security vote, it should start from 1999. And I want the whole world to know that it is about persecution. EFCC should not be used as a tool of the APC to intimidate us. And another question is, why did this not come out? All the 3 years I've been in government. Why did they wait until I defected to PDP?
And that's much we have on PTV today. Many thanks for watching. I am Daniel Mwaboso.
My name is Femi Anikula Kokuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you, don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
is a road. Our road. The road used to be good. Now, the road is not so good.
Come on for road now.
We tried to manage the road like that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm late. In the next 5 minutes, I will be there.
Some of us didn't even care. But there are other options. We can solve our problems by taking action. Our government can work better when we play our part. It's not your job to manage it. It's your job to talk about it. Get involved.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
My name is Ufon Sunday Essien. I'm an indigenous of Nongokumeko Tefia here in Ikonoluku government area. The road on which I'm standing, that's the Nongokum Road that leads to the newly upgraded Akwa Ibom State College of Arts and Technology. This road has been in a very horrible state even before I was born. So that is how we invited the different segments of this community, talking about the men, the women, the youth and persons living with disability. In that meeting, we developed a charter, which is a document that tried to capture all the issues in our community. And then after the charter, we did a letter and went on advocacy. It attracted the attention of government, and then they came and they saw the state of disrepair of this road. Eventually, because of the effort, government has come and is presently working on this road, and this road is near completion. This is how we, for Nongokumeko Tefia, no sit down look.
My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Emergencies happen, but a lot of times emergencies can be avoided if we apply a little more care in all our dealings, at home, on the road, in public places, and even our offices. At the close of work, do you take your time to turn off all your electrical appliances? Check and double-check all switches to ensure they are turned off before going home. It is not a bad habit to form. Apart from conserving electrical energy and cost, it goes a long way in protecting lives and property. Check all electrical outlets, at home and at work before going out. Yes, even your phone chargers. Disconnect them. No electrical current is little. A stitch in time saves 9.
To, da kai da ke da ita da shi da kowa nake so na yi magana da. Me ke faruwa? Kana son karuwa ga ka zaune bakin rijiya amma kana jin ishin ruwa? Gangan jikin siyasa. In ta dangwala ka dangwala na dangwala. Ina amfanin ana yi ba da kai ba? A turancin Najeriya to an gaya maka. No sit down look. Kana sit down kana looking komai na ƙara lalacewa? Ina ka ga daman ƙorafi? Da masu jini a jika ake yi, watan matasa. Kwankwasa a buɗa ki shige, dago ka shaki iska ko ka lime, da ƙyar ka sha yafi da ƙyar aka kama ka. No sit down look. Matasa ke siyasa. Yi rajista, karɓi katin zaɓe, yana da amfani ƙwarai kwa.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
Make una no sit down look oh.
5 keys to keeping your child on a healthy weight level. Be a good role model. Children learn by example, and so you must set good examples such as eating at the right time and the right quantity and quality, coupled with good exercise time. Get active. Overweight children do not need more exercise than the slimmer children. Their extra body weight means they will naturally burn more calories for the same activity. Child-sized food portions. Avoid feeding your child oversized portions. A good rule of thumb is to start meals with small servings and let them ask for more if they are still hungry. Eat healthy meals. Children, just like adults, should aim at 5 or more portions of fruits and vegetables every day. It is far better than the sugar-laden snacks we give them. Let them replace They are carbonated drinks with water. Fizzy drinks are dangerous to their weights. Sleep. Let the children watch less TV and take in more sleep. Yes, this helps with weight loss management. Children should watch not more than 2 hours of TV a day, including the films from phones. They trim better when they sleep well. Besides, insufficient sleep can affect their behavior or mood.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
My name is Ufon Sunday Essien. I'm an indigene of Nongo-Kumeko Odetefia here in Ikonoloku and technology. This road has been in a very horrible state even before I was born. So that is how we invited the different segments of this community, talking about the men, the women, the youth, and persons living with disability. In that meeting, we developed a charter, which is a document that tried to capture all the issues in our community. And then after the charter, we did a letter and went on advocacy. It attracted the attention of government, and then they came and they saw the state of disrepair of this road. Eventually, because of the effort, government has come and is presently working on this road, and this road is near completion. This is now how we, for Nongo-Kumeko Odetefia, no sit down look.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
European imperial adventure in Nigeria was essentially an enterprise in exploitation early in the days of imperialism. Economic policy, particularly in the field of banking and currency, were crafted for the benefit of the enterprise. Among the results of British adventurism in Nigeria was a successful demonetization of the traditional currencies in the 19th and 20th century. In their place was introduced the British monetary system, consisting of the coins and notes. These forms of money thus became a common denominator for economic exchange in colonial Nigeria. Following the attainment of political independence in 1960, Nigerian authorities had to introduce what might be described as truly Nigerian currencies. Nigeria has used various forms of currencies, including cowries and manillas during the British-Nigerian colonial rule. Pounds and shillings was Nigeria's legal tender. On July 1, 1959, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued the first indigenous Nigeria currency in the denominations of 5 shillings, 10 shillings, and 1 pound notes, which saw the end to the West African Currency Board notes and coins, which has been in existence since 1912. As the saying goes, change is constant. On July 1, 1962, the new government of Nigeria saw the need to change the legal tender status of the currency to reflect the country's new status. In 1963, following the attainment of a republican status, a political decision was taken to replace the existing currency notes due to its misuse and as a war strategy. This was in compliance with the CBN Decree No. 51 of December 30, 1967. Since at the time of the decree, the country was engaged in a civil war that lasted between 1967 to 1970. To this end, a decision to remove all the stocks of the new notes to a branch of the CBN and all the sub-centers was taken in June 1964. Meanwhile, implementation began on July 1, 1965. However, the old and new currency still bore pictures of Nigeria's main export commodity, cocoa, groundnut, and palm produce. In March 1971, the then head of state announced that Nigeria would change the decimal currency as at January 1st, 1973, the Nigerian currency was decimalized. This development in the country's currency history did put an end to the use of Nigeria's pounds, shillings, and pence. Meanwhile, in their place came the naira and kobo. The major currency note was called naira, and it was equivalent to 10 shillings. The minor currency note was called kobo, 100 of which make 1 naira. 6 months to January 2nd, 1973, the date the new currency came into use, the CBN introduced coins in the value of 1 kobo, 10 kobo, and 25 kobo into the economy. The bank embarked on this line of action with a directive to shops and stores to fix prices of their commodity into the new as well as the old currency unit. The advanced arrangement was meant to provide enough enlightenment to members of the public. On its part, the Decimal Currency Board of the CBN, through its publicity unit, embarked on the distribution of posters, conversion table, leaflets, and other publications to educate the public on the decimalization arrangement. The 1970s experienced a significant increase in the volume of economic activities in Nigeria, with a phenomenal growth in the volume of commercial transactions coupled with the oil boom of the decade. On 2nd July 1979, for a takeoff, the new currency were in 4 various denominations of banknotes, which were 50 kobo, 1 naira, 5 naira, and 10 naira. The change that took place was a major one, and this involved both currency notes and coins. Meanwhile, the major unit of currency, which used to be 1 pound, ceased to exist, and the 1 naira, which was equivalent to 10 shillings, became the major unit. On 11th February 1977, after the assassination of the then head of state, General Murtala Muhammad, a new banknote of the denomination of the value of 20 naira was issued. This was special because it was the highest denomination to be issued then, and it became necessary then as a result of the economic growth. The 20 naira banknote became the first banknote in Nigeria bearing the portrait of a Nigerian citizen. In this case was the late head of state, General Murtala Muhammad, 1938 to 1976, who was the torchbearer of the Nigerian Revolution in July 1975. In 1984, the Nigerian military government of Muhammadu Buhari, in an attempt to legitimize its interruption of the democratic process through a military coup d'etat, directed the CBN to cause a change in the colors of the Nigerian currency. The exercise was designed to devalue the money alleged to have been stolen by Nigerian political leaders. In 1991, both the 50 kobo, 1 naira note were coins. It is believed that monetary reforms of this period, particularly the introduction of the 50 naira currency note, were carried out in response to increased private and privated spending resulting from Nigerians' excess oil revenue of the period. Some Nigerian currencies were recommended for redesign, but it was not accepted by certain sectors of the Nigerian society. Some Nigerians were inclined to believe that the demonetization of the smaller denomination was meant to depreciate the value of the currency. This particular reform heralded the erosion of coins in Nigeria and precipitated its waning use. Consequently, the 5 naira notes became the minimum denomination acceptable in the Nigerian society. In response to the expansion in economic activities and to facilitate efficient payment system, the currency reforms continued in 1999 with the introduction of the 100 naira banknote. In the front view, the currency unit bears the portrait of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Premier of Western Region of Nigeria in the 1950s and leader of the opposition party at the federal level in the 1960s. In its back view is a picture of the Zuma Rock. November 2000 and April 2001, the CBN issued 200, 500 banknotes respectively, with the former bearing the portrait of Alhaji Sir Ahmadu Bello, former Premier of the defunct Northern Region. On the back view of the currency denomination are pictures of heads of cattle, agricultural products, and the Nigerian coat of arms. The 500 naira denomination bears in its front view the portrait of Chief Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Premier of the defunct Eastern Region and first Nigerian president between 1963 and 1966. It bears the Nigeria coat of arms on the reverse side. It also bears the Naira sign on both sides of the note. The latest currency denomination introduced in Nigeria was the 1000 Naira currency note. This was introduced on the 12th of October 2005 by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Peculiar to this currency is that it bears in front views portraits of the past CBN governors: Alhaji Aliyu Maibronu, Governor of the Central Bank 1963 to 1969, and Dr. Clement Isong, Governor of the Central Bank 1967 to 1975. There is also a gold foil on the front of the note with the Nigerian coat of arms and the numeral 1000. Also peculiar to this denomination is that it is devoid of the Naira sign. The trend of higher currency denominations in Nigeria over the years has only testified to the fact that the Naira has depreciated against the dollar, pounds, and other advanced capitalist currencies of the Western Hemisphere. Here are the faces of Nigeria heroes that have graced the Nigerian currency over time.
It's another beautiful Tuesday here in the nation's capital, and there's so much going on in the polity as regards.
The statistics for the incidence of autism around the world is a staggering 1 in every 68 new births. In a country whose population grows by 2.5% each year, we can estimate that about 70,000 children born in 2017 alone will be diagnosed to be on the autism spectrum by their 3rd birthdays in 2020, adding to a similar number of cases diagnosed each year before that. There is no known cause or cure for autism, but by creating awareness and building advocacy, we can improve legislation, conditions, and opportunities for children and families on the autism spectrum. This animated drama series is one of such interventions that we believe can make a difference. Happy viewing.
Hello, my name is Chibi and I am 8 years old and I live in Abuja, Nigeria. A few years ago, I discovered that my older sister Chubu is on the autism spectrum. For a long while, we never really got along. She would sit by herself, throw tantrums when she didn't like something, refuse to join me to play, and even get away with her bad behavior without getting scolded or punished by daddy and mommy. I am not sure I like her the way a sister should until I started to ask questions about her. And daddy, mommy, and other adults started to explain more about autism to me. The biggest thing I learned that helped me understand autism and now get along and love my sister is that she sometimes behaves this way because of autism and not because she is naughty or unfriendly. Let me show you what I mean. Chubu, please stop jumping. Oh daddy, please can you tell Chubu to stop jumping?
Chubu, please stop jumping. Look at Daddy and calm down. Daddy said you should calm down.
Calm down.
You see, Chibi, to help your sister, you have to maintain eye contact with her when speaking. She is jumping because she is overstimulated from watching TV for so long. Let's sit together and read a book. Please switch off the TV. You know, you shouldn't watch TV for more than 2 hours at a stretch.
Okay, Daddy. I used to think that Dad and Mom just like to treat Chubu better than me. But after this encounter, I learned that autistic children like Chubu get overstimulated and are too sensitive to light, smells, sound, and flashing pictures like from the TV. So, rather than getting jealous, I need to watch out for things that can overstimulate her and protect her from such things. I am in primary 4 and I have to do lots of homework each night. But Chubu does a lot less work and it's a lot simpler work. I don't understand why my big sister is in primary 1 while I'm in primary 4. Auntie Tessie, why is Chubu in primary 1 while I'm in primary 4? Is it because I am smarter than her?
No, Chibi. Chubu is autistic, and like other autistic children, she learns at a different pace and volume from other children like you. Learning is about being able to pay attention and copy from adults. Because of autism, Chubu doesn't always pay attention and copy, and therefore learns at a slower pace than you. However, with the kind of special teaching she gets at school, she will continue learning and one day she will get to primary 4 too. Remember how Chubu couldn't even sit still in class a few years ago? Now she can write, spell, and even solve fractions.
That's true. This makes sense. This autism thing isn't that bad. It just requires understanding and the right technique. Chubu, stop crying! Stop crying! What do you want? What do you want? Why would you just answer the question and stop crying? Mommy, why does Chubu not answer? She just keeps crying.
Chibi, Chubu is on the autism spectrum, and children on the autism spectrum like her sometimes are not able to express themselves verbally like you can. Chubu is crying because there's something she doesn't like, but does not know how to express herself. Let's look around and see what it could be. Chubu, look at me. Do you want watermelon?
Yes, watermelon. So why did you just say so? Let's go and get some watermelon together. And next time, just say watermelon instead of crying. So, I have learned a few things about Chubu and other children on the autism spectrum. I learned that children on the autism spectrum don't learn as quickly as other children, that they are very sensitive to the environment, and that they sometimes do not communicate as verbally as other people do, or find it easy to play with other children. I also learned about what a spectrum is. I now understand that being autistic must be hard for them too, and that with love and support from the family and the rest of the society, children on the autism spectrum like my sister Chubu can do very well in life.
Owere Zukala is a town in Orumba South local government area of Anambra State. The town is one of the most populous communities in the local government area. It is a boundary town bordered in the north by Olo town in Enugu State. In the southeast, Owere Zukala is bordered by Umuaku Isochi in Abia State and by Eziama town in Imo State. Down this valley of dense forest is a cave and waterfall reputed to be the biggest in the West African sub-region. Owere Zukala Waterfalls is a magnificent sight. The great waterfalls cascade from a height of about 60 meters all year round, with its heaviest flow during the rainy season and enough to generate electricity.
Cross-carpeting has been a trend since the First Republic. Now, when members of the NTNC, led by the late Nnamdi Azikiwe, crossed en masse in the Western Parliament to the Action Group, which was led by late Obafemi Awolowo. Now, the recent cross-carpeting by federal lawmakers has caused an uproar in the Nigerian polity and has raised many questions in the minds of Nigerians, especially that of the Senate President Bukola Saraki that just happened recently. Now, today on Inside Story, we shall be looking at the implication of Saraki's defection on the Senate and on his seat. Now, joining me in the studio to talk about this is a veteran of the Senate Press Corps and one-time spokesman for Senate President Taiwo Adisa, and he's also the political editor of the Tribune newspaper. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And also here is Omeza Ajayi, political correspondent with Vanguard newspaper. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
It's great having you, Omeza, here again, and you're welcome here as well. Now let's get straight to the activity of the day. Now, starting off with you, Taiwo. It's another season of defection.
Sure.
And the polity is being heated. What comes to mind?
Yeah, it comes to mind as if history is repeating itself all over again. So surprising, because it's the same trend. Usually when history wants to repeat itself, it drops some elements of the past. But this one is just completely a replica of what we have seen before, particularly what we saw 2013, 2014. And it's surprising that the political actors of today did not learn from what happened 2013, 2014, or what they themselves did 2013, 2014, and they are allowing it to repeat itself just the same way. So surprising. But it's interesting that we are witnessing the trends again. A lot of people are already predicting that 2022 we are likely going to see something.
Yes.
It's interesting, very good.
Okay, how about you, Meza? Now, with all this defection in the polity and all of that, what first came to your mind when you heard about it all?
Well, you know, these things are always expected when elections are close. Like you said, history is repeating itself. The interesting thing is that the actors have not changed. So when he said history is repeating itself like almost 100%, that is why, because it is still the same actors. These were the people who in times past also did what they are doing now, several months to the election, and they are doing it now again. So for me, I think it is healthy for us, because really, when you look at the two parties, we don't have ideological based parties, because we are not even right for that. You know, that is why when government constructs roads, we hail them, even though those are not the things we should even be concerned about now. It's a given, you know. I looked at the railway, one of the railway projects. Like, one administration started it, they couldn't do it, but now Buhari has done it. Government is a continuum. We shouldn't even be focusing on that. But because we still lag behind when it comes to development. So that's why we focus on those things. So the APC, PDP, they are the same. So these things are expected. They always cross carpet. Okay. Because what matters to a politician, they are not statesmen. What matters to them is the next election. And the next election is just by the corner. Okay. So it's expected they will begin to move, you know, go to where the interest will be best protected. Okay, now back to you, Taiwo. Now let's quickly take a look at the movements. Now, can it be compared to that of 2014? Exactly. That's why, like I said before, that history is repeating itself, or completely 100%. It's comparable. I say that, I've not seen 5 governors going, but it's around the same circle. You've seen Benue governor going back to PDP. He was a member of PDP. You've seen Tamboa, who was speaker and the leader of what I would call quote-unquote insurrection in the house against the PDP at that time, coming back to PDP, the same party. You've seen Saraki, who was also quote-unquote leader of that same similar insurrection in the Senate, although it was temporary in the Senate at that time. But he was the leader of the opposition, the people that wanted to defect. Those Senate President Mark was able to manage it. It did not boomerang on the floor of the Senate, but he led the others, and they crossed carpeted in their various constituencies. Eventually, he has come back to PDP now. So it's the same magnitude. You can completely say it's the same thing, and it's also interesting in the sense that the characters are similar, and what you are also looking at is the same. What you are looking at is the presidency. The presidency of Nigeria was at stake 2013, 2014, 2015. Now the presidency of Nigeria is at stake again 2019, and it's interesting that we are following the same path. How about you? Do you agree with that? Which was that of 2014? Can it be compared to now? Yes, there's a lot of comparison. Like I said, the actors have not changed. Okay. What is going to make the difference is the outcome. What impact is this going to have? Well, it has had some political impact. Is it going to have electoral impact? is it going to affect the outcome of the 2019 elections as it did in the last general elections in 2015? I think that is going to be the basic difference. But for now, what is happening is just a semblance of what happened in 2014.
Okay, now back to you, Taiwo. Let's talk about the defection of Senate President Bukola Saraki.
Yeah.
Did it come as a surprise to you?
Well, it didn't come to me as a surprise at all. It didn't come as a surprise. Well, what I would say is surprising is that he kept it for that long. Because I was surprised that he was able to stay in there for that long. From 2015 May, thereabout, you already know that Saraki had become an outcast in the APC. Though he helped them to win the election, though he helped them to get majority in the National Assembly, immediately he showed his hands that he wanted to contest the Senate presidency. The party got divided along three lines. Some people wanted Akume, some people wanted this current Senate leader, and some people wanted him. But he was able to work with his colleagues, former colleagues in the PDP, and he was able to get the seat. But as soon as he got the seat, also you saw the drama on the day of June 9, 2015, when the entire National Assembly was shut down. Nobody was allowed to go in. Was not allowed to. None of the reporters or correspondents were allowed to go in. And it took the intervention of the social media. We had to post the message on the social media before the presidency was able to intervene and call the IG that, okay, journalists, you go in there and all that. They wanted a kind of the scenario that we just saw in Benue. Maybe just a few selected people will be allowed to enter into the National Assembly, and then they will do their thing and all that. But it didn't work out at the national level, so we were able to gain. And from that day, Saraki knew that he was a marked man in the APC, and everybody watching the politics knew that he was a marked man in the APC. That he was able to sustain it for this long is what will come as a surprise. But it didn't shock me that he left APC.
Okay, now back to you, Meza. We're still talking about Saraki's defection now. How damaging could it possibly be to the APC, and how rewarding is his defection to the PDP?
Well, if we want to look at the past, when they left the PDP for the APC, we saw the damage they did to the PDP, and how that's translated to gains, political electoral gains for the party they joined, the APC. But now the scenario might not have changed much. It's just that the players, the power brokers now, because the PDP, they were in power. Now you have the APC in power. And the people we have in the APC now, because they have been in opposition for quite some time, they seem to understand that they have power. They have tasted it for 3 years, and they will not want to let it go just like that. So, but even at that, it's still going to be. It's going to have a lot of political damage for the APC. People are discussing it. A lot of opinions here and there. We just said that even in Kwara, some at the local government level, the chairman, councillors, they have defected. If these are grassroots politicians, if they maintain the grassroots, if they still have that connection with the grassroots, you know that in the next elections it is going to cause a lot of damage for the APC. This does not mean that the PDP, I am not postulating that the PDP will win the general elections, but even if they do not win the general elections, with the number of people that have left the APC now, the APC, they're also saying that people are coming to their party, but human beings are equal. But still, when you look at the quality, political quality, of these people who are also moving to the APC and those that are moving to the PDP, you know that a lot of big wigs have moved into the PDP than those that have moved into the APC. So for me, I think it is going to impact so much. For instance, the votes from Kwara. Even in Kanu, the president scored 1.9 million when Kwankwaso was there. Definitely, I doubt if that is going to repeat itself again. He might make an appreciable impact there, but with Kwankwaso Shekarau and Ambassador Wali in the PDP, definitely Kano is not it's not just for anyone for the taking. It's going to be maybe 50-50 for them.
Okay, I think that's your thought. Before we get your reactions on that, on what he just said, now let us look at the reactions of Nigerians on the streets of Abuja. Most of them reacted positively, some reacted negatively, and had different ideas on Saraki's exit and implication of it as well. So on this Vox Pop, we have the reactions of FCT residents on Saraki's defection. Let's take a look at it.
Many of those that are even defected, how many of them have value in their state? Wait now. Wait.
This was a scene at one of Abuja's newsstands. Bukola Saraki's defection is the issue that has triggered an argument. When the back and forth subsided, it was clear that many are divided on the import of the Senate President's return to the PDP.
In the Israel thing, so they are departing from one party, jumping from one party to the other because of their personal interest. They don't have the interest of the masses at heart. These are a set of people who have been ruining us over the years. All of us have been crying. So what have they done so good that will warrant people celebrating their return to PDP, which they have dumped over 4 years? So what I'm talking about here. So people know, they don't seem to know where their problem lies. Do you understand? The issue here is we must have a government that will restructure this country, that will put this country in the right path and perspective.
You understand? Because a situation whereby some people are using to certain ideology of investing, paddling and so sort of things. You understand? If they don't feel the same where they are, if the house did not contain them, they will leave it. It's like you leave Ghana to Nigeria and you discover that the problem you are facing in Nigeria is more than what is happening in Ghana. You will go back to where you were coming from. You understand? These people we are talking about, they are PDP in APC. They call them G7 those days, and they match with APC to come to the government. Some of them are even thinking within themselves they are very powerful. I want to tell you today is false. Look at Muazu Babangida Aliyu, the Taliban of former governor of Niger State. He was the former governor of PDP Forum. Where is he today? He even lost his senatorial election. You understand? People like Saraki, they ride on Buhari, but they felt that they are somebody important. Let me tell you something. At the earlier of this government, you discover that Bukola Saraki betrayed his party. By what? By conniving with opposition to come in government, making what has never happened in the history of Nigeria, the opposition becoming the Senate president. That is a fighter position. You trade it for your service and greediness interest, not minding. And then look at it. Look at it now. What they have been doing in legislations is for them to make a laws. Adibi, they make a law that will make a life to be more comfortable for us, for the citizen. The executive arm of government will not have a choice that obeyed such law.
Everybody know Saraki is a PDP from day one. You understand? And in politics, everybody will take, because what you really believe is that if you come back, you want to be a Senate president again, and which cannot be. Even this present Senate president that is doing, assuming South or Southeast, they have Senate from APC. One will march as Senate president because we have 3 regions in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. You get what I'm saying? Now, I do negotiation with APC that if they come back, are they going to give him Senate president? Which answer is no. You understand? And it discussed with the PDP, where I can see the soft landing. And I believe that was the reason why he moved to PDP, because he's in the APC. And likewise, whoever that come to APC as a senator before Tony Buhari in the 2015 election, most of them will not come back. It's a welcome development. You know, Nigeria politics, little by little, we will get it right. To me, Nigeria, we are just celebrating the capitalists, the achievers. You understand me? We are not celebrating the ideology. any person that come to this country telling Nigeria where to go, the way forward, become the enemy of Nigeria. You understand me? When they are forming APC, we are all clapping that, oh, we are expecting a better change. We know where we are, and then today everybody can set the level that we are. Now it's just a failure in government. Everybody will say what is happening. If you are in APC today, even if you looted billions of dollars, but you are in APC, you are a good man. But when you are not there, they will begin all this propaganda, media, newspapers, corruption fighting. Police will now become partition and all these things. See, it's a very good so that Nigeria will repackage ourselves.
And for many, the political environment will be more interesting now that the elections are a few months away.
Has flown away from APC. The issue now is, what is APC doing? What is APC contributing? Which help is APC giving to we Nigerians at the moment? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Government has failed. Government in Nigeria, it has failed woefully in so many areas. In the aspect of we youth, we Nigerian youths, government has really failed us. That is the
master planner. It's a good planner. He came in as Senate President without the authority of the party, the APC, interested in him to be the Senate President.
But with me, I still have Taiwo, Adisa, and Umeza here with me in the studio. Now, let me start with you, Taiwo. Now, let's look at Senate President's 20-paragraph letter. You must have read his 20-paragraph letter on his defection. Yeah. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think as a politician, he has to give a background to what he's doing. He's made up his mind some months back that he's going out of APC. But he has to lay a foundation for it. He has to showcase to us, the people, oh, this is what I've gone through, and this is a basis and foundation for why I have to go to where I was before. So I think he chronicled almost everything that I had gone through. He chronicled both all the things I could put on the table, because as a politician, it's not everything that you can just put out there. As a statesman also, it's not everything that I can put out there. I think he chronicled what can be said and what people may want to know to justify his position. I think it's justifiable. If you are in a particular party, you are supposed to be a senior member of that party. I had for a long time, most of the NEC meetings they had, they don't consult him. They don't allow his free input and all that. So a lot of things that we had, so a lot of things that he put in there, I think are justifiable for him to leave the party as he did.
Okay, now how about you? Do you agree with that? Now, okay, some people said he was even more grateful than Tambuwa, someone like Tambuwa, when he was defecting. At least he acknowledged APC chairman and the vice president. Umeza, do you agree with that?
Well, you know, he's a number 3 man. So at that level, your language is tempered. You know, Tambuwa is the governor of a state, and is among those that people have referred to as the young thugs. You know, so we can't compare their language. But what the Senate President said in that statement, you know, he catalogued everything that happened to him, the travels, and that even when he was ready for reconciliation, there were people who were just bent on pushing him out of the party. And of course it is obvious, because some of us knew he was going to leave the APC at a certain point, because it was just a week after the president was inaugurated that his problem started. I think it was June 4, June 5 when the National Assembly was June 9 was when the National Assembly was inaugurated. So it was that day that his problem started. So all the things he said, because if you look at, you recall that even that day that he issued that statement, having resigned from the party still went ahead to publish a query issued to him. The query was dated that same day. You know, for somebody that had resigned, what was the need to have published that? You know, it was as if you had sent the query to him before he resigned. The man had resigned, but apparently, maybe to embarrass him, I didn't know, the statement was still released.
Okay, still with you, Omeza now. Do you agree that Saraki could have stayed back in APC based on peace talks, or he was just playing politics with that comment?
No, you see, there was a time the president foreclosed the further negotiation with the RAPC, and whether we like it or not, when you analyze issues, you know where Saraki belongs. You know, RAPC, they were in talks, they were having talks with the vice president, they were to meet the president. Later, the president foreclosed the NPDP. You know, later the president foreclosed the further negotiations with that group. So, if the president had done, that was why when Oshomole came and he was, you know, running up and down trying to troubleshoot here and there. Personally, I felt nothing tangible was going to come out of that, because the president, the man who is the one to dole out patronage, you know, the man who is in charge, the man says he's no longer interested in talks with these people. And then you are the chairman of the party. On what basis are you going to negotiate? Would they have been negotiating with these people? You know, if you had reached agreements with this new PDP or the RAPC, would the agreement or the resolution have been binding on the president? You know. So for me, that troubleshooting effort, it was neither here nor there. So for Saraki to have done that, he saw the handwriting on the wall. In fact, some people believe that this decision is coming too late. That he should have taken this decision last year or early this year. But apparently, he wanted to be through with his cases in court, you know, before taking such an important.
Okay, about the entire, would you agree with what he just said?
Yeah, very well. I agree with him that a lot of people expected him to have left the party long before now. A lot of people believed, who have watched the politics, believe that he considered so much to the APC or APC system, probably believing that there will be peace at the end of the day. Eventually, the party was not ready for that peace. So his eventual departure from the party was not just orchestrated to an extent. It was written that he just have to go. We cannot work with him. We cannot place him in our party. And I think a lot of APC leaders are a bit afraid of the Saraki personnel, so to say, that, oh, this man, if he could take on the political system in his own home state, with his father being one of the political victims along the way, he could take on anybody. So probably they felt that they have to just ship him out so that they could maintain the structure of their party and run it the way they like.
Okay, now some members of the PDP's House Rep caucus now were at the National Assembly yesterday night to stop what they say was a plot to convene and impeach Saraki. Now, is this remotely possible for that to happen during recess and for Rep members to intervene in Senate matter?
Very well. The House of Reps and the Senate, they occupy the same chamber, the same White House, the same Parliament. We just have two chambers. It's one Parliament that we have. We just have two chambers. You know, whatever happens in one affects the other, and whatever affects the other affects both of them. Like you saw the day the Senate was invaded, the House of Reps suspended its sitting. And a whole lot of them went into the chamber of the Senate to solidarize with them and to pass a joint resolution right there. That was not the first time. During Naba, that also happened when the Senate was having a leadership crisis. The House intervened to try to make peace inside the Senate. The Senate has also done that under David Mark. When the House was having problems, the Senate intervened to also make peace. So it's one house, really. So the House of Rep members can do that. They can keep vigil in the National Assembly to make sure that there is peace. But we have to take the conversation further than that. That's like resorting to motor park democracy, so to say, if I may call it, because our rules are very clear. When the chamber is on recess, the only person that can call back that chamber is the leadership of the either the Senate or the House. It has happened severally. I can't count how many times. There have been emergency sessions, and the emergency session will be called by the leadership of the chamber affected, or the two chambers, if all of them have to come together and come back. Now it's not for one senator or 10 senators or 20 senators or senators of one party to come around and say they want to open the chamber. You can't open the chamber because it will be legal, it will be criminal. In fact, it will be close to a coup against the country, because the rules are very clear. Once the Senate is on recess, once the House is on recess, only the presiding officer can call them back. And when they are called back, it's with implications. It's not just call them back as if they are your boys. When you call back the chamber from wherever on a recess like this, you have to pay for wherever they are coming from. You have to pay them. You can't just call them back because they are already on recess. Now, as to whether they can call short their recess because of passage of a bill of whatever, they can call short a recess for emergency reasons, but not just for routine things, because they are entitled to the recess. It's like the situation of the judiciary. You can't say that because there's a case of murder that must be judged, the Supreme Court should call off its recess when they are on recess for a particular time. So it's normal that they should go on recess, but it's abnormal for anybody to say you want to convene the House through illegal means. We shouldn't contemplate that.
Okay, Mr. Do you agree with that it is okay for Rep Sumba to intervene in Senate matters?
Of course, we've seen it play out often and often. The two houses are interwoven. They're like two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
So what affects one affects the other. But on the issue of reconvening the House, you see, anything can happen in this country. In politics, everything and anything is possible. You recall when the late Chuba Okada his village with the mace, then it was because there was a plan to impeach him. The Synod were on recess, and some people were trying to reconvene forcefully. And the man took the mace and went. I thought it was a joke. It was a political joke. just to deceive his enemies. This country where a sitting governor was, if not all, was abducted. He took the effort of some other security agencies who didn't want to be seen as being too pliant, to stop that abduction. So if a sitting governor, the chief security officer of a state, could be abducted, is it impeachment? We've been here when some minority members were used to impeach state House of Assembly speakers. So our democracy is still evolving. What we have, you see, somebody told me of recent that Nigerians, we are not programmed for democracy. Our own type of democracy is still like militocracy. That is why you can have a minority member, even in Benue, minority members going into the house and serving an impeachment notice on the government. So it is possible, but I believe that with the level of awareness in this country, in spite of the misgivings that some sections of Nigerians might have against the national parliament, I think anybody who will want to forcefully reconvene the Senate might just be trying to test the patience of Nigerians, and I don't think Nigerians will be that patient with such characters. Okay, now back to you, Taiwo. Now, as someone who has covered the National Assembly for years, now do you think Saraki would lose his seat, especially if APC remains the majority in the House?
Well, the setting in the National Assembly currently, in fact, since July 2015, that setting is difficult to undermine. I mean, the setting in the leadership of the Senate, particularly, the setting is such that a two-party arrangement. It's the first time we are seeing that, particularly in the Senate. and but it's difficult to undermine or to outweigh because the coloration of the parties, the configuration of the parties in the chamber makes it difficult for either of them to get two-thirds majority that you can use to remove a Senate president or the deputy Senate president. You recall that one of the problems they put on one of the sins, quote unquote, of Saraki against the APC is that it did not allow a Ekweremadu to be removed. But the rule is such that the number that you need to remove Saraki is the same number you need to remove Ekweremadu. So Saraki will not allow you to get that number because it could be a WS word. If you use it against Ekweremadu, what will stop you from using it against him? So you cannot get the title. So you cannot remove Saraki, whether he remains in PDP or even if APC gains more majority tomorrow. You cannot still remove Saraki because you cannot get the number. You need 73 senators. And now, according to the Senate leader, APC has 52, PDP has 50. But when you look at those 52 and 50, you see that a lot of people, their interests are either here or there. Some of the 52 that APC is catching include members of the PDP, people who are in PDP, who are near into APC, by Saraki. So when you do the calculations, you see that you are really on a tight rope when you are looking for numbers. Okay. So it's difficult to impeach him, whether he remains in PDP or the APC regains majority. Okay, now to you, Amazing. Now, what do you expect on September 25th when the Senate resumes with Saraki now in the PDP?
Well, there could be attempts to remove him, as played out in some state assemblies, even though we know that certain things that play out in state assemblies can hardly play out at the National Assembly. But in politics, never say never. In Plateau, when at the onset of this administration, the PDP were in the majority in the state assembly, but they had to elect a speaker from the APC because the governor was from the APC. They elected a speaker from the minority. In Kogi, it was the same thing. In fact, the speaker was initially of the PDP in Kogi with an APC governor. But along the line, the governor was able to bulldoze his way, muzzle his way through, and some people defected some members defected to the APC, and then the stage was now set for the APC to elect their own speaker. Now, at the Senate, when they reconvene, we are not going to see them discussing developmental issues. For me, that's why I'm scared, because what we are going to be seeing is politicking. People, even now the PDP, they are claiming to have the majority. The APC, they are claiming to have the majority. So by the time they reconvene, the issue of the Senate leadership will have to be settled. Who has the majority? If it is the PDP, then the Senate leader has to come from there. So if it is the APC, then Ahmed Lawan will still retain his seat. And the APC national chairman yesterday, Oshomole, said if you belong to a family and because by virtue of your membership of that family you were given a crown, well, you now decide to leave that family for another family, that the right thing to do is to drop that crown. So he was making allusions to Saraki's Senate presidency, that having left the APC family for the PDP family, he should drop that office. So we are going to see interesting times, from that September 25. I believe from this statement from the APC chairman, they will try to do everything to see that Saraki loses that seat. But practically, I do not see how that's going to happen.
How about you? What do you expect come September 25th?
Yeah, you see fireworks. You see a lot of fireworks, political fireworks from the APC wanting to show that it's there. It's not out. It's not down or it's not out. You also see fireworks from the PDP trying to contain because now Saraki is in PDP, so we can say from PDP. So safely we can say that PDP is in control of the Senate now. The deputy is from PDP and he is also going back to PDP. So you're going to see a lot of fireworks coming from the politicking within the parties. First of all, you have to settle, like you said, you have to settle the issue of leadership because that's very critical. because that's one defined issue in the parliament. You have to know which party is in majority. Although the issue of the Senate president or presiding officer really is something that the constitution is silent about. They can come from any of the parties. You can come from any senator. What qualifies you to be the presiding officer is your membership of that chamber, not the party that you belong to. Whether party A has overwhelming majority or party B has overwhelming majority does not count. And in the rules of the Senate or in the House, the same thing goes for the House of Assembly. The party that you belong does not really matter. What matters is how many of the members are supporting you on that day to make you to get the simple majority. It's just simple majority to become the presiding officer. It is when you become that presiding officer, to remove you, you now need 2/3 majority of the members, which is a very difficult task. So you see a lot of battle. You might also see a lot of fight, some things that the presiding officers have kept under the table, maybe in trying to preserve the APC before, in terms of investigations and all that. You see some things coming out now more than before, because this is an opposition party versus the party in government. So we see more battles at the level of investigation, more public hearings to add some things that have been kept under the table before.
You know, Tambuwal did that when he was speaker. When he was trying to fight Jonathan, what the House practically did was to embark on several investigations. Through which they were unable to unearth so many shady deals, so to speak, and that alone, to some extent, served the purpose for which they were doing that. Because some voters were like, so this government could be this, so they had to switch their minds to say, okay, let us vote for the APC. So that can also play out by the time they reconvene.
Okay, we look forward to seeing what happens with the reconvene. Now, Taiwo, you have seen as many as 4 senates. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, how would you? How am I right? Yes. Okay. Now, how would you compare Saraki's plight against, for instance, that of Adolphus Wabara, who we worked for?
Plight. Well, the difference is that Saraki, yes, was on the same party with his president, but they were not of the same mindset from ab initio. Wabara was on the same wavelength with President Obasanjo for a long time. Before they started, let me mention this, that before the election of 2003, President Obasanjo had made up his mind that the next Senate president will be Wabara. That once he should go and contest, once he wins his seat, he will be his Senate president for the next session. So before that election, going into that election, it was already clear to Obasanjo that he wanted this man, because the politicking that took place before then, that's 2000, 2001, 2002, has played up a lot of personalities in the Senate. Wabara was in that 99 Senate. So, and his name was coming up one time or the other, but politicking, then she would throw up another person up to Ayim. When it was it was in contention when Ayim was eventually picked. But when Ayim fell out with Obasanjo, so Obasanjo had to come to him and say there were plots to actually ensure that Ayim did not finish his tenure. But Ayim was able to outwit all them and to outmaneuver the plots. And so from November thereabout 2002, Obasanjo had made up his mind that this is the person he was going to work with when they come back. And eventually they came back and they were working along the same line. They were working together. Wabara had no inkling that Obasanjo could move against him. That. But the third time thing was coming, which we didn't know. It was coming in parables then. A lot of insights came into us, and I recall that we had an emergency meeting of the staff with him, and based on the intelligence report that we were getting then, we told him that if you could there are a lot of battles were ahead from that January, that if you could survive up to August of 2005, he will finish his presidency. That was based on some of the intents we were having. We didn't know that Obasanjo was going to apply the sledgehammer, so to say, on our hand. So, and when Obasanjo saw the links that they had together, he had to apply the sledgehammer and on an instant basis, so that there was no time for second guessing, and such that all the people that connect them together will not be able to intervene. That was how he was able to go to national television to say, oh, I saw this, so I saw this and that and that. At least make the thing a national matter, so that nobody else is able to intervene, and then the thing is already in the market. That they say that the mad person is already entered the market, so you can no longer close him. So that was what happened to Wabara. As for Saraki, I think Saraki was conciliatory largely to Buhari, to the president, to the government of APC. But if Buhari take another person, for instance, all the things that he had been put through, this CCT, every other day you are in the court, this one, that one, that one. If it's another person, you just have done the consequences long ago, you have crossed another party and take it up as a battle. Okay, if you win me, it's fine. If I win you, I win you. You will have exposed so many things about the government. You will have it is easy for the parliament to put the government in trouble. Yeah. More than the other way around. Then the government has structures, but the parliament can order a lot of things, and the constitution empowers them to do that. And when they are writing it, what the people want to know is, oh, this thing is happening, and you'll be scandalized. So, but I think he was able to manage it, thinking that there will be peace at the end of the day, pending, holding down so many things. Eventually, it turned out the way it is.
Okay, now finally and quickly now, Meza, as a key political journalist, now for you first now, what do you make of Saraki's political future? Senate chamber or Aso Rock in 2019?
Well, I do not see him bidding for the presidency. At least as far as I know, I have not had a concrete statement from Saraki's end. He might have that interest, but certainly I don't see that interest being or playing out this 2019. I think his concern will be how to get the PDP to power. I do not see him presenting. Politicians, he might present himself for presidency, but that might not even be his aim. I think his aim first is to get the APC out of the way. As for his political future, well, they will tell you, because we are religious, they will tell you our future is in the hands of God. But there are issues in Kwara where he comes from. There are people like those in the PDP, some of them have gone to the APC saying they cannot work with him, because some of them feel that the Saraki family have been in power for quite a long time and they want to break that political dynasty. So he is going to encounter challenges even in his sub-state. But with the number or with the quality of people behind him, breaking that Saraki dynasty might not just be, it might not be now, it might not be in 2019. It might happen in the future, maybe in 2023, but it's 2019. I doubt if it is going to be very possible for those who are working against him to break that political dynasty.
Okay, now how about you, Taiwo? What do you make of Saraki's political future? Senate chamber or Aso Rock or otherwise?
Yeah, I see him mostly in the Senate, back into the Senate chamber. He's been a master of Kwara politics, so to say, having taken over from his father. So he's mastered that terrain very well. And like some people would comment in Kwara, if you talk to them, they say, well, we don't have party in Kwara, Saraki is our party. So it's been like that for some time. Yes, it doesn't mean that some people will not challenge. There will be challenges, but at the end of the day, you see Saraki. I don't see him having problems winning his Kwara Central Senatorial District back. But I also see him playing a lot of roles at the national level. The emergence of whoever becomes a candidate of the PDP, also in seeing how PDP could outwit the final stage.
Thank you very much. It's actually been a detailed and insightful program this week. I really appreciate your presence, Omeza and Taiwo. Well, I think that's the much we can take this week on Inside Story. I'm going to see you again, same time, same station next week for more stories inside. Don't go anywhere. Stay on PTV. My name is Lilian Okazi.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
5 keys to keeping your child on a healthy weight level. Be a good role model. Children learn by example, and so you must set good examples such as eating at the right time and the right quantity and quality, coupled with good exercise time. Get active. Overweight children do not need more exercise than the slimmer children. Their extra body weight means they will naturally burn more calories for the same activity. Child-sized food portions. Avoid feeding your child oversized portions. A good rule of thumb is to start meals with small servings and let them ask for more if they are still hungry. Eat healthy meals. Children, just like adults, should aim at 5 or more portions of fruits and vegetables every day. It is far better than the sugar-laden snacks we give them. Let them replace their carbonated drinks with water. Fizzy drinks are dangerous to their weights. Sleep. Let the children watch less TV and take in more sleep. Yes, this helps with weight loss management. Children should watch not more than 2 hours of TV a day, including the films from phones. They train better when they sleep well. Besides, insufficient sleep can affect their behavior or mood.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
My name is Ufon Sunday Essien. I'm an indigenous of Nongokomeko Odetefia here in Ikonolokun government area. The road on which I'm standing, that's the Nongokom Road that leads to the newly upgraded Akwa Ibom State College of Arts and Technology. This road has been in a very horrible state even before I was born. So that is how we invited the different segments of this community, talking about the men, the women, the youth, and persons living with disability. In that meeting, we developed a charter, which is a document that tried to capture all the issues in our community. And then after the charter, we did a letter and went on advocacy. It attracted the attention of government, and then they came and they saw the state of disrepair of this road. Eventually, because of the effort, government has come and is presently working on this road, and this road is near completion. This is how we, for Nongokomeko Odetefia, no sit down look.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
European imperial adventure in Nigeria was essentially an enterprise in exploitation. Early in the days of imperialism, economic policy, particularly in the field of banking and currency, were crafted for the benefit of the enterprise. Among the results of British adventurism in Nigeria was a successful demonetization of the traditional currencies in the 19th and 20th century. In their place was introduced the British monetary system, consisting of the coins and notes. These forms of money thus became a common denominator for economic exchange in colonial Nigeria. Following the attainment of political independence in 1960, Nigerian authorities had to introduce what might be described as truly Nigerian currencies.
Welcome to PTV Today. I am Aisha Jibrin. The federal government says it has nothing to lose with the exit of the Senate President Bukola Saraki from the ruling All Progressive Congress. This, according to Information Minister Lai Mohammed, is because Saraki had all along been behaving like a member of the opposition even while he was still a member of the APC. Mohammed said this at the end of the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council. All along, PDP members of the House of Representatives are passing the night at the National Assembly to stop what they say is the attempt to impeach Senate President Bukola Saraki. The opposition lawmakers claim that the move was orchestrated by APC senators following Saraki's defection from the party. Although they are not members of the upper chambers, the PDP caucus of the House of Representatives say that they have a responsibility to defend what they say is a planned assault on the National Assembly.
We were busy doing our committee work, our committee business, when information was brought to us that the Senate chambers was being forcefully invaded by a couple of senators led by Senator Ali Ndume, Senator Adamu Abdullahi, and Senator Omo Agege. And the aim of their invasion of the Senate, while senators are busy have gone on recess, they wanted to invade the Senate chambers to come and sit illegally and impeach the Senate President illegally when everybody is out on recess. We also have it on good authority that they are planning to come back this night and tomorrow morning, aided by security forces, our own security forces that is meant to, their job is meant to protect Nigerians, protect lives and property of Nigerians. They are the ones leading these dissident senators to come and looking for the right word to use, because they want to truncate democracy. We might think they want to take over the Senate. That's not what they want to do. They want to truncate democracy. This democracy of ours, they want to truncate it. But we, the PDP caucus, minorities caucus, we have decided that we're going to stay here. We'll keep vigil and wait and see what is going to happen tonight and tomorrow night. We're calling on all Nigerians to stay awake with us, because this is not a rape on the National Assembly. It's a rape on democracy, which concerns you and I, all of us. And if we allow this to happen, then we might as well go back to when we had the military junta, and we should all forget about democracy.
The detained Shiite leader is to know the fate of his bail application on October 4th. This was after his counsel Maxwell Khan moved for bail at the Kaduna High Court. Khan said that they came prepared with their brief, hoping that Zakzaki and his wife Zinat would be granted freedom. Like in previous court sessions, journalists were prevented from gaining access to the High Court premises where the case was heard. Zakzaki, his wife, and 2 others are being tried for matters related to murder. They have been in detention since 2015. Cool. 16 local government chairmen and chancellors in Kwara State have defected from the All Progressive Congress, the People's Democratic Party. The chairman of the Association of Local Government of the chapter, Joshua Omokenya, confirmed that all the chancellors elected under the APC have defected to the PDP. He spoke during a media briefing on the defection on Thursday in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. And moving over to Benue politics, the leadership of the People's Democratic Party and some governors on Wednesday showed up in Makurdi on a solidarity visit to Benue State. Governor Samuel Ortom, who just returned to the party fold. The PDP chieftains are all convinced that Ortom's popularity would increase what they say is his persecution by federal authorities. Now, moving away from that, the APC National Working Committee has appointed Yekini Nabena as the acting publicity secretary of the APC. The party made this known via its official Twitter handle on Thursday. Nabena's elevation is coming a day after the resignation of Bolaji Abdullahi. About 150,000 members of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, are set to defect to the United Progressive Party, UPP, in Imo State ahead of the 2019 general elections. The APGA faithful in the state is said to be heading to the UPP to give further boost to the governorship aspiration of a leading governorship aspirant in the party, Tony Nwolu. Nwolu, a member of the House of Representatives, widely known for initiating the Not Too Young to Run bill, which was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari, recently defected from the People's Democratic Party to the UPP. His governorship ambition was reportedly open and has purportedly raised the tempo of the governorship contest by attracting massive support and endorsement from thousands of youths in the state. The defection has been planned for a date yet to be scheduled in Owerri, the Imo State capital, and has been described as the mother of all political rallies that will take place in recent times. Most political analysts are of the opinion that the defection would certainly alter the political equation in the state and the journey to become dissipated in Imo politics. In addition, to be already in talks and have to endorse Nwolu's governorship ambition. That the political parties will further boost Nwolu's governorship bid. With a split in Imo State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, some notable members of one of the factions have already opened with top UPP chieftains and expressed willingness to support Nwolu's gubernatorial election. Senate President Bukola Saraki has hailed the Court of Appeal for upholding the powers of the National Assembly to make laws, including the bill amending election sequence. This was after the court dismissed an earlier verdict of the Federal High Court, which stopped the legislature from overriding the president's accent to the bill. Saraki said in a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Yusuf Olaniyonu, that the judgment has further reinforced the belief that the judiciary remains the hope of the country in strengthening democracy as well as resolving conflicts between various arms and level of government. He noted that the judgment showed that the National Assembly was right when it passed the bill rearranging the sequence of elections, but noted that the legislature reversed its decision on the issue after President Muhammadu Buhari refused accent to the bill. The Senate President explained that the U-turn was in the interest of peace and to forestall any legal obstacle on the way of the 2019 elections. Saraki noted that he has always believed in the need to test the nation's laws in court by seeking judicial interpretations on contentious issues. Since news of the defection of Senate President Bukola Saraki broke, Nigerians of all shades have been speaking on its implication. For many, it would make the political atmosphere more interesting. Daniel Azwama, who visited the newsstand, also ran into heated argument on the development.
Many of those that are even defected, how many of them have value in their states? Wait now.
This was a scene at one of Abuja's newsstands. Bukola Saraki's defection is the issue that has triggered an argument. When the back and forth subsided, it was clear that many are divided on the import of the Senate President's return to the PDP.
In the Israel thing, so they are defecting from one party, jumping from one party to the other because of their personal interest. They don't have the interest of the masses at heart. These are a set of people who have been ruining us over the years. All of us have been crying. So what have they done so good that will warrant people celebrating their return to PDP, which they have dumped over 4 years? So what are we talking about here? So people don't believe to know, they don't seem to know where their problem lies. Do you understand? The issue here is we must have a government that will restructure this country, that will put this country in the right path and perspective.
You understand? Because it's a situation whereby some people are using some to certain ideology of best in paddling and sorts of things. You understand? If they don't feel the same where they are, if the house did not contain them, they will leave it. It's like you leave Ghana to Nigeria and you discover that the problem you are facing in Nigeria is more than what is happening in Ghana. You will go back to where you were coming from. You understand? These people we are talking about, they are PDP in APC. They call them G7 those days. And they match with APC to come to the government. Some of them are even thinking within themselves they are very powerful. I want to tell you today is false. Look at Muazu Babangida Aliyu, the Taliban of former governor of Niger State. He was the former governor of PDP Forum. Where is he today? He even lost his senatorial election. You understand? People like Saraki, they ride on Buhari, but they felt that they are somebody important. Let me tell you something. At the earlier of this government, you discover that Bukola Saraki betrayed his party. By what? By conniving with opposition to come in government, making what has never happened in the history of Nigeria, the opposition becoming the Senate president. That is a fighter position. You trade it for your service and greediness interest, not minding. And then look at it. Look at it now. What they have been doing in legislations is for them to make a laws. ADB, they make a laws that will make a life to be more comfortable for us, for the citizen. The executive arm of government will not have a choice that obeyed source law.
Everybody know Saraki is a PDP from day one. You understand? And in politics, everybody will take, because what I really believe is that if you come back, you want to be a Senate president again, and which cannot be. Even this present Senate president that is doing, assuming South or Southeast, they have Senate from APC. One will march as Senate president because we have 3 regions in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. You get what I'm saying? Now, I do negotiation with APC that if they come back, are they going to give him Senate president? Which answer is no. Do you understand? And it discussed with the PDP, where I can see the soft landing. And I believe that was the reason why he moved to PDP, because he's in APC. And likewise, whoever that come through APC as a senator before Doni Buhari, the 2015 election, most of them will not come back.
It's a welcome development. You know, Nigeria politics, little by little, will get it right. To me, Nigeria, we are just celebrating the capitalists, the achievers. You understand me? We are not celebrating the ideology. Any person that come to this country telling Nigeria where to go, the way forward, become the enemy of Nigeria. You understand me? When they are forming APC, we are all clapping that, oh, we are expecting a better change. We know where we are, and then today everybody can set the level that we are. Now it's just a failure in government. Everybody will say what is happening. If you are in APC today, even if you looted billions of dollars, but you are in APC, you are a good man. But when you are not there, they will begin all this propaganda, media, newspapers, corruption fighting. Police will now become party partition and all these things. See, it's a very good so that Nigeria will repackage ourselves.
And for many, the political environment will be more interesting now that the elections are a few months away.
Has flown away from APC. The issue now is, what is APC doing? What is APC contributing? Which help is APC giving to we Nigerians at the moment? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Government has failed. Government in Nigeria, it has failed woefully in so many areas. In the aspect of we youth, we Nigerian youths, government has really failed us. That is the
master planner. It's a game planner. He came in as Senate President without the authority of the party, the APC, interested in him to be the Senate President. But he used his abracadabra, sort of, to come in as Senate President. And since then, this government has never seen the light of the day, because it's like it's one leg in PDP, another leg in the APC since he came in. That's what we have been witnessing. That is why this government is not moving forward.
One of the respondents also shared a view that seemed different from the others.
Senate President, let him take the decision in his hand. He's a man of the world, he's a former governor, he was elected to president, and now he's a current senator. So he can decide on his own. Let him go, wish him well. But let me tell you something. Go back to Buse where I come from. Tell Joshua join the terrain. But my people started cursing him that we are not expecting to go and join the looter. We are sent to go and do what? To go and represent people. Blame government going body up and down. Let's just start from local government chairman and council. What are they doing? Everybody started body every second. I don't think that's a concerned project. They collect their money all the time, every time. What are they doing?
For many, Nigerian politics will become more interesting with the high-profile movement between the two main political parties.
The leadership of the People's Democratic Party and some governors on Wednesday showed up at Makurdi on a solidarity visit to the Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom, who just returned to the party fold. The PDP chieftains are all convinced that Ortom's popularity would increase with what they say is his persecution by federal authorities.
Prince Sekondu stated that the illegality going on in the state supported by forces from Abuja was unfortunate, stressing that Nigeria was in deep crisis, especially in Benue State. While pledging the support of the PDP to Governor Ortom, the national chairman of the party said the governor's offenses were that he stood with his people in seeking justice in the face of persecution and had also defected to the PDP.
To pay solidarity visit and to strengthen him and to encourage him that the national headquarters of PDP is absolutely behind him and is with him.
Speaking on behalf of the three governors, Tiraki Dixon urged Benue people to continue to stand with their governor in order to protect democracy, stressing that the legislature must be allowed to function according to the law. He consoled the people of Benue and other states over what he called senseless killings by militiamen, adding that the situation going on in Benue State was mindless.
Make a statement that the nonsense going on in Benue makes no sense. And now, we people are here. Many of us have been here, but for the short notice. And in spite of the flight today, my colleagues and I are here to join hands with our governor, with our brother, who are joining us to say, welcome to your party, Governor Trump.
Governor Ortom in a remark said despite the persecution, he remains committed to ensuring justice fairness and equity for his people. While appreciating the PDP national chairman and his colleagues for the solidarity visit, the governor assured them that Benue remains a PDP state and will emerge victorious in 2019.
I want to assure you that despite intimidation and the blackmail and persecution, we shall not be deterred. We are committed to this very cause because PDP is our home. We are all on a journey to the APC. And we have discovered that in the APC home, you can see only killings and other development and the other.
Governor Tom also used the visit to inform the gathering that as part of the witch hunt against him and the Benue people, the Inspector General of Police had ordered the withdrawal of policemen from all internally displaced persons camps across the state, leaving the IDPs vulnerable. State Chairman of the PDP, Mr. John Ngbede, in a vote of thanks, charged Governor Tom to remain firm in spite of intimidation, stressing that such would only enlarge his support base.
The Nigerian Army is to deploy special forces on motorcycle to southern Kaduna. It also plans to convert its forward operational base in the area into a battalion with view to stemming the tide of armed banditry. Army Chief Tuku Buratai disclosed this during a visit to some communities in the region.
This is an operational visit by the Chief of Army Staff. Unlike other visits, this time Buratai is at the Army newly constructed and renovated facilities in southern Kaduna. The first point of call for the Army Chief is the Nigerian Army School of Armament Technology, Kachia, where he inspected the block of staff quarters.
You know what has always gone, before elections, and the level of insecurity always, goes up, and as such, the troops have to be alert to ensure that they maintain the security that is required.
General Buratai proceeded to the Army's joint operational base in Kafanchan, where he interacted with the troops on ground. And to ensure synergy between the troops and the locals, General Buratai interfaced with the Emir of Jama and the Chief of Kaninkong.
Getting the relevant platforms to ensure that we get all the needed intelligence to be able to deal with those issues.
In a few weeks from now, the forward operational base will be expanded into a battalion to kickstart motorcycle operations by special forces in southern Kaduna to curb the excesses of banditry in the region. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Kaduna.
And that's all on the news this hour. Many thanks for watching. I am Aisha Jibrin.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law.
I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice about
no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
kind to family is natural. Being kind to friends can be a necessity. Being kind to colleagues at work may be an attempt to look smart and witty. But being kind to strangers is an act that will set you apart from every other person because it shows that you have a malice-free heart. In the spirit of the season, the young woman was singled out and pampered like she has never before. A day was set out to give Grace a makeover. Sharing a story today in hopes to be appreciated is Grace Sunday.
My name is Grace Sunday. I'm coming from Bauchi, Bagorola Kogomi.
Trying to make ends meet, Grace indulges in menial labor around the environment to assist her family.
Sometimes I make hair. Some people they are giving me their clothes to wash for them. Now there I am getting my small money to help my family.
The thing that she's doing, she's making this thing. She's making hair and washing clothes to people. That is why she's getting her money and helping me too. My wife is a loving woman. She's a caring woman. Because since I married her, we are very living in peace with her. We thank God for that.
Their 3 years marriage birthed a son, Joshua, who is a mama's boy. Hence, Grace shuffled her day with attention to her child and taking care of herself.
My son can play. After playing, in the afternoon he goes sleep. After sleeping, he go wake up again. Start his playing. So he never starts school. Now January we want.
Starting off a beauty regime, Grace was hosted at the spa where she got a flawless facial finish.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacqueline Ajay. I'm the CEO of Jackie's Secret Beauty line, and here is Grace. It's a festive season and we're trying to do a makeover for her, a facial treatment called Indian facial treatment. We're going to help extract all the white heads, black heads, and just give her a very nice look this festive season. I'm going to be taking this out so that there won't be any stress. So we're going to start with cleaning up her face with a facial wash, just to help remove impurities from the face.
Mad over you, girl. Say you are my woman, my superwoman.
Before every facial treatment, you're supposed to just apply and clean off so that she can have a glowing face afterwards. Right now, because she's dark skinned, we're going to use a facial scrub that has strawberry and has cocoa in it. That will help exfoliate her face very well.
All over the world, want me, oh, play the music non-stop. Tell them dance to my song, tell them shake it bum bum.
What I'm doing right now is exfoliating, scrubbing her face, and as much as possible, whenever you're scrubbing, after now, Grace, you try to scrub in an upward motion in order not to help sag the face.
Baby girl, you body, girl, the way you whine, I demand over you, girl.
Because the eye is very sensitive, when we get to the eye area, we try as much as possible to be tender in this area. Then you can apply more pressure on this part of the face. So we're gonna allow it sit for a minute before we take it out. We're going to clean it off right now. Every single step in the facial treatment reveals a more glowing skin. You can see the face is already looking transformed.
Smile for me.